Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is John Rees. I'm a chiropractor based in Ilkley in West Yorkshire, and some of you will know that I do short little videos, hopefully to provide some information and advice for your general health and in particular your musculoskeletal health. And today we're doing a very short video talking about sleeping and sleeping positions and what one should and shouldn't do. Obviously, we spend a third of our lives, 8 hours predominantly a day, in bed asleep, and therefore it ends up being a long period of our lives. And it's important, therefore, that we should adopt the optimal and correct posture when we sleep. Of course, because we're asleep, we're not aware of our posture per se, and therefore any limitations or damage our posture may cause. But what we must remember is our spine, as is with all our bones, are very live pieces of material. And the spine, in particular, the bones act within them. They have cells that are monitoring the loads and the forces that go through them. And consequently, bone can put down new bone in places where greater forces are applied, and therefore you can get sort of buttressing of the bone, and the bone will change shape over a period of time, of course, depending on the forces through it. Thus, how you spend a third of your life will affect how your bone shape might amend or change. So, obviously, some people sleep on their back, which is fine. Others sleep on their side, one side or the other, which is also fine. But a number of people sleep on their front, which is kind of something we don't really wish you to do. Clearly, if you're sleeping on your front, you have to rotate your head to the left or right such that you can breathe. The problem with that is that because you rotated the head to the left or the right, the forces going through the bones of the neck, and in actual fact, it facilitates an issue down to the middle of your thoracic spine, will mean that the loading on those joints and those bones is different than if you were lying on your side. And therefore, over a period of time, over a number of years, that most probably will change the shape of some of the bones, affect the functionability of the joints, and it might, over time, particularly as we age and get less tolerance in our musculoskeletal system, causes symptomology and pain and numbness and conditions that may well be treatable, but obviously if we don't get into that situation in the first place, that is preferable. So ideally, what we need to do is lie so our spine, which starts from right underneath the bottom of our head, down to the top of our pelvis, at the bottom of our lumbar spine, is straight. So what we need to do if you're lying on your back or your side is to make sure that the pillow or pillows you use when you have the weight of your head on them enables your spine of your neck in particular still to be straight, horizontal or level, whichever you want to say. Now, sometimes people use preformed pillows, which may be helpful. They come out for some reason to be very expensive. What you can do, particularly as you've got a little curve on this side of the neck, and sometimes you want to sort of fill that space that your pillow doesn't necessarily do, you can take a hand towel, roll it up into a sort of tube or cylinder, and then slip it underneath your pillowcase, and then you can move it up and down depending on the most suitable position and most comfortable position for your neck. But as I say, it is important that you lie such that the whole of your spine is as level as you can. Okay? Now, the other thing we should mention really is getting out of bed, because of course it may well be that you've lain on one side or the other side, perhaps for the last hour before you wake up. And then often, particularly if you just wake up and get out quickly when the alarm goes off, you're asking your lumbar spine in particular to take the load of the vast majority of your body from your waist up to your head to pivot you from the horizontal to the sort of 90 degrees, the sat up position. And it's important, therefore, the musculature that you're asking to do that is balanced, if you like, is in the same steady state. Now, we have 3 layers of muscles in our spine, and the deepest layer, which we call the multividae, are the most important. They're the shortest. We have 24 bones in our spine, and therefore we have 24 pairs of deep multividae just going across each joint. So if, for instance, you've been lying on one side for the last hour before you wake up, then clearly the multividae on the mattress side are slightly in tension, whereas the multividae, the muscles on the top side, are slightly in compression. And therefore, if you then try and use them both to get out of bed, you're not using them equally, and you're causing a little bit of added stress and inequality there. So ideally what you need to do before you get out of bed is just lie on your back, bring your knees up towards your chest, maybe pull them right up to your chest if you so wish, and sort of push your lumbar spine into the mattress. Hold it there for 30 seconds or so. Do that 3 or 4 times. And then the multividae on both sides of the spine are in the same steady state. Then you can turn to your side, put your legs on the side of the bed and use your legs as a pivot, and then help you to get up. And that will most probably not alleviate any potential problems. But of course, one of the issues with sleep, very beneficial for obvious reasons, is that what is crucial for the musculoskeletal system is movement. And if you're spending 8 hours a day asleep, that lack of movement can cause potential issues with the lack of fluidity and movement of the joints of the body. It is what it is, because obviously we have to have a recuperative period of time from what we've done the day before. But therefore, that's why it's extremely important to whatever you do in that steady state of sleep is to make it as symmetrical and also have the spine as level as possible. Okay, well, I hope that is informative and that helps you to direct to how you may sleep in moving forward. What I should also say is some people who do sleep on their fronts and obviously rotate the heads left and right say, well, it's all well and good to say just don't do it. But of course, I start off on my side and then I end up, when I wake up, I'm on my front. Well, we found that one way of advising patients, and quite productive, is if for a couple of weeks, maybe no more than that, maybe sometimes a few days, if when you go to bed you wear a t-shirt, but you put the arms inside the t-shirt, not in the apertures for the t-shirt has for your arms, then when you go to bed and lie on your side, what happens when you're sleeping is you usually twist and your arms go up above your head to enable you to pivot and lie on your front. Well, of course, as your arms are somewhat restrained within the t-shirt, that doesn't happen. And after a short period of time, as we say, a few days, then you have sort of reconditioned, retrained yourself. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. We will be throwing something at you in the near future, no doubt, and we very much look forward to you watching that one. Thank you again. Bye-bye.